Hello and welcome to PUCL's 2024 Prepare for Trouble TFTT Tournament as we enter Top Cut with me, GigaSaurusGames, and this week in round 1 of the Top Cut, which is effectively a play-in for the main round, I am facing off against ZePaladin, who frankly, I think I've played a lot, pretty often, though surprisingly, I've never recorded any of my matches with them. That surprised me when I went looking, actually. Now that we're in Top Cut, we now have open team sheets, and so it's fine. I realized just now that there was no commentary for that section because I forgot to add my condenser mic to this OBS scene while I was setting up the images. But the first team, what I was saying is that now that we're in Top Cut, we are now an open team sheet, best of 3. The first team on screen was the team that I'll be running for this tournament, which is the same team that I actually ran at the Indianapolis Regional, the first Regulation G Regional for VGC this past weekend, where I went 5-4 with this team. I'll make some other comments about it in a minute. My opponent's team happens to be a team based on, as they call it, pocket sand, or as I would say, budget sand, i.e. Tyranitar and Zacian, but there is no Excadrill. Which would be a pretty significant problem for my team, since as you can see, I run Necrozma Duskmane, which is weak to ground. As it is, it's still not super happy, but it could be a lot worse. I need to check something. What's that for graph say? It's Imprison Trick Room. Okay. So I do need to be careful about Zacian. The Tornadus does have Tailwind, so they're likely, I suspect, to try and block my Trick Room setup, because they have Zacian and they're going to be much faster than my team in general. Which is going to be a problem, I suspect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kill Frigoraph turn 1. And then I can go into Necrozma in the back. I will bring our Chaladon. This setup does lead to some risk that I might not be able to proc my own weakness policy. I have 2 ways to proc my own weakness policy. One is Bulldoze off of Frigoraph, and one is Terra Dragon, my Necrozma, and Moonblast it with Cresselia. I do have Cresselia to proc it, except that Cresselia might well die pretty quickly while setting up Trick Room. Especially because I don't carry Protect on my Cresselia. So it's going to have to take a hit turn 1. Especially if they lead Frigoraph, which is not unlikely given the Imprisoned Trick Room on that set, but they did not. Zacian, I do not see a good solution for my opponent to quickly kill my Cresselia. So instead, I will set Trick Room, and I'm going to do something brave, and I am not going to protect with Moltres in front of a Zacian with Play Rough, because the worst case scenario to my mind is Moltres is killed and I can go into Necrozma in the back. Otherwise, the way my opponent kills Cresselia is to double target it with probably Howl, Gouging Fire, and Stellar, Behemoth's Blade, Zacian into Cresselia. I knew Stellar from the open team sheet, which is why I was looking at it, which is why I was saying it just now, and because I saw it tearing, which is why I noticed the Terra Stellar. But what this means is that they're not going to be targeting Moltres, and that lets me get damage off Assuming they aren't targeting Moltres, and they are targeting Cresselia like I expected. Yeah. I kind of wish I'd seen that. Though, to be fair, not entirely certain what I would have done about it. So our Chaladon now will die to a Sacred Sword from that Zacian, because it's at +2. Which means my best bet, unfortunately, is to go into Necrozma. So the fear is, if I don't Terra, I think they can kill me, but if I do Terra, I don't get any weakness policy off. And frankly, I think I need the weakness policy more than I need to make certain I survive. And for that matter, the Zacian could call the Terra. So Breaking Swipe makes sense, but I'm a mixed Necrozma. This is actually... moves like Breaking Swipe and also Intimidate are actually why I am mixed. Okay. Because that means that I'm now going for a special attack Earth Power. So I'm now out in our Chaladon. I will Earth Power it again, and now I'm going to Terra Fairy in case it tries to Sacred Sword the Archaladon. And I will Flash Cannon the Zacian. I believe my Archaladon is slower than my Necrozma. So because my Necrozma is a fairly fast for a Trick Room set. It is spec'd to outspeed Fluttermane that is unboosted under Tailwind, when I am under Tailwind. Which means that even in the best case scenario, Flash Cannon goes into a resisted Flash Cannon hits Gouging Fire instead of Breaking Swipe hitting Gouging Fire, which is much better. But I need to make sure the Zacian is dead. Although realistically, I've probably lost game 1 because my gosh, that Zacian did so much damage. So I'll say this, at the Indianapolis Regional, that's fun, I went 5-4, that probably kill, oh, it doesn't kill, okay, so that will kill then. I went 5-4, I also went 1-1 against Zacian teams in best of 3. So, I can beat Zacian teams, but it is by no means guaranteed that I will do so. So I now have a Terra Fairy Archaladon on the field. My opponent doesn't have very good ways to kill it, but it is a 3v2. So, you know, it's not optimal in any world. But I can continue to Earth Power that Gouging Fire, so that's at least something to do. You always think about Tyranitar being so big, but then on this field it's like so tiny, and it's adorable, and it's hilarious, and I love it. It is just adorable right now. That T-Tar is Assault Vest. It does not have Protect. It also can't Terra because the Zacian already did. So this is a stab super effective Flash Cannon going into it. Pretty much guaranteed, with the one caveat of the T-Tar could Snarl, although T-Tar is pretty slow, and also Sand boosts the special defense for Rock types. Hey! They proc my weakness policy. It probably won't matter because I think the T-Tar snarled. That's probably what it should have done. And it might be that's the fastest thing in the field. Oh, it's not. Neat. Okay, 2v2. Though, again, I think the T-Tar is snarling, and that... Okay, no, it rock slided. Why did that do so much, Oh. It got a crit. Well, fair enough. I was gonna say, why did that Rock Slide do so much to Archaladon? Archaladon has a huge defense stat. And then it was a crit. And that explained a lot. Unironically, that crit might matter depending on what my opponent brought in the back. Yeah, I think that crit matters. So I Electroshot the Tornadus is my next plan. So I'm going to take 2 turns of damage now. It's doing... Okay, yeah, I'm dead. Archaladon's dead before it gets to move again. Did the crit matter? No, the crit didn't matter. With Assault Vest gone, another Bleak Wind Storm kills even without the crit, especially after that. Okay. Yeah, so, as I said, I was pretty sure that I lost game 1 because I let Zacian get far too much momentum against me. So I need to adapt for that game 2. I could bring Tailwind. The problem is, because I'm a slow team, I'm not... well, okay, but... What is Zacian's speed stat? I don't remember this number. Zacian at level 50, when it is crowned, hits 434 if it is max speed. And that is faster than Fluttermane. So it does not matter if I bring Tailwind. It will outspeed... Oh wait, never mind. That's level 100. Level 50. It hit... Oh, my numlock's off again. It hits 220, which I believe is faster than Fluttermane. Yeah, that's faster. Okay, so even if I Tailwind, Zacian is faster than everything in my team except Moltres under Tailwind. That's not helpful. So I need to set Trick Room somehow. That's probably not feasible. My opponent's team hits too hard and has Frigoraph on top of that. So instead, we go to Plan B. And Plan B involves playing their game and doing damage quickly. Once Zacian is dead, if Cresselia hits the field, I can keep whatever damage dealer I have left alive, probably. And if I bring Moltres largely doesn't care about Ogerpon. Well, no, but Ivy Cudgel. Is Tornadus better? I really don't think Tornadus is the play against this team. Yeah, I can kill Sandstorm, but I think Moltres is better. I'm not sold on that. Tornadus might be better to kill the Sandstorm and let T-Tar die faster, but my opponent's Tornadus also has Sandstorm. They could just reset it, probably. So I think having Moltres is better because it gives me a way to maybe kill Ogerpon and certainly kill Frigoraph. So my opponent does the same thing again, and that is kind of as expected. So last game, I Terra'd, and my opponent knows that. And I Terra'd with Archaladon. And my opponent knows that. I'm gonna take a risk. Sacred Sword friggin' hurts if it hits. But Behemoth Blade kills me if I Terra, and then I waste my Terra entirely. But if my opponent calls my Terra, then Behemoth Blade won't do much because it'll be a resisted hit. even without the Howl, I can pretty much guarantee a Stellar Terra Sacred Sword will kill my Rachaladon. I have seen my Rachaladon live a +1 Sacred Sword, but it was not Terra boosted at the time. So after Stellar, it'll certainly kill with extra 1.2. Also with the Howl, it will certainly kill. But again, my opponent might... Nope, nope, they just did the safe thing. Fair enough. Alright, I'm down. I need to take a risk. I'm going to Terra Dragon the Zacian. And Earth Power the Zacian. I don't think it's going to play rough me right now. I then Moonblast my own Necrozma to proc my weakness policy. And next turn, I Ally Switch with Cresselia. Or to avoid the Behemoth Blade and kill with Earth Power. Maybe. On the other hand, but the other possibility is Necrozma just dies here. Especially with that. Oh, my opponent called the Terra. Oh, no, you're killing Cresselia. Okay. So I need to get this right here. My opponent can kill either Mon that I have on the field. I'm reasonably certain they want to kill Necrozma, because Necrozma is the real threat. So I think I can go safely for Fiery Wrath. Will Fiery Wrath kill? I really don't think it will. I go safely for Hurricane, which is 70% accuracy. You know, I kind of wish I'd done more and triggered Berserk. I got the call right. Do I land my 70%? Yes, I do. Okay. I still have a chance. I have a full health. I have a full health Necrozma on the field. As well as a opponent that really wants to give me my weakness policy. I can pretty much guarantee the Sunseal Strike kills this Tutar in basically every world. That probably kills. Yeah, it does. That said, I'm a very bulky Necrozma. The bulk kills me. Okay. Alright, and now I lose. Alright. So, I never got the chance because I didn't have any time to vamp, but I fully expected to, well, so I knew that there's no world where I made finals, and certainly not win. this team loses to Zamazenta, up and down. There is a Zamazenta team in Top Cut, and I would be matched up with them before finals if they win their first match. There are also, at the Indianapolis Regional, there was a winning team featuring a Choice Specs Terra Electric Miraidon. And my team can't take damage from that. Takes way too much damage from that. It does not win that game ever. So I knew there was no way I was going to win in finals. Certainly, probably wouldn't even make it. I thought there was a chance that I would maybe win one round, but apparently my team has no answer for Zacian getting Stellar Boost and Howl, because my gosh. That Zacian just hit like a truck. So that there ends my Top Cut run for PFTT this year. Again, my team only went 5-4. It really isn't the best team, and it suffers from the fact that it does really well against Caloric Shadow Rider and Kyogre, which are both popular in the format, but no one is running in our tournament. So it was always going to be this team was always going to be a hard sell in this specific Top Cut. But it's a fun team that I do like. My opponent was just saying they were not expecting Oko Cresselia with a +2 Stellar Terra Behemoth Blade. I believe I'm specially defensive, which is probably part of what happened there. But even so, Cresselia is very bulky, and it still just died to that Zacian. That was legitimately impressive. So, good game, ZePaladin. I think I won both of our last two matchups, even if they aren't recorded. But, so, they finally got a grudge match win going back the other way. I generally figure the two of us are pretty evenly skilled players. We pretty much split our series, and we get paired off a lot. I feel like we get paired off a lot. And so, until next time, whatever tournament that happens to be, this has been GigaSaurusGames and a very dead Necrozma signing off in the face of a Zacian killing everything. Have a good night. Bye.